You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
Hi again. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nini Chong, and I am the founder of Her Rise Story. So, of course, tonight I have my co-host with me, Zoo.
Hi, Nini. Hi, everybody.
Angelica.
Hello.
Hi, Zoo.
Final night of the
Yes,
series.
so this is episode 15.
Yes, that's right.
And
Oh,
the final
time just
episode.
flies. Yes.
So
so nice.
cepat, kan?
So cepat. So I can't even imagine. It's already been 15 guests on the show, right? And it's been fantastic. And you know what they say, when you're having fun, time just flies. So that's what happening to
Right.
us. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think it was a great decision to have, decided to do this collaboration to go together with Marketing in Asia, featuring
Definitely.
mothers from the
Marketing in Asia's LinkedIn top 100 personalities in Malaysia you should follow in 2020.
Yeah, so I think that, thank you so much, Azlin, the CEO of Marketing in Asia, for
That's
also
right. Yes.
introducing me to Zoo, who is now my
Right.
buddy, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, what was the chances of us meeting otherwise, right? So this is fantastic. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and grateful to have met you, like-minded
Yeah,
women. So love it.
me too, right? And I think,
Yeah.
many of the audience didn't know this. So what happened, how did the collaboration happen was that I received an email saying that I got into the list, and I actually sent a message to Azlin through LinkedIn, and I say that, you know what, thank you so much. But I want to talk about another thing. I want to talk about a collaboration, right? Instead, because Mother's
Yeah.
Day is coming up, so why not I feature those ladies for Her Rise Story? And he immediately say yes. And a few days later, I meet you.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, I remember that morning when it was a Saturday we met, and then the Monday the show started, wasn't it? It was just like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, it's
And
just a fast decision, and this happened.
and we had only 1 week to prep for everything,
Yes,
right?
yes, exactly. That was lovely.
Yeah. Any updates from Marketing in Asia, Zoo?
Okay, just have this to say, as you all know, Marketing in Asia we like to pride ourselves as the coolest magazine in Asia. We have writers from all over. As what I said yesterday, we're looking for contributors, podcasters from all over Asia to contribute to the magazine. And also, just the latest update, because he's been writing for us for the last 2 months. And I just thought about him. I need to highlight him because we have a writer from Iran, and Dr. Kavi
Oh.
Hatami. Yes, he's writing to us, for Marketing in Asia about the marketing background, marketing highlights, activities in Iran, which we hardly hear of. So he's giving us all the insights. His next article has just been submitted to me today. So I'm sure it'll be out by next week sometime. So just keep a lookout for it from Iran. Yeah, something new for us to look at. And yeah, every single day we have, right? I mean, look, what are the chances from Iran? and he just approached us and tell us he's keen to write for the magazine. That's amazing.
Wow, that's cool. And Marketing in
Yeah.
Asia also have articles and podcasts from
Yes.
4 different languages, right? So you have in
Different
Tagalog,
language.
you have Bahasa Indonesia, you have Bahasa Malaysia, and of course in English,
English. Yes, that's right.
right?
And
So you say?
go ahead. No, I think I've finished. Yeah.
So for the benefit of the audience, right, what her right story is about is just for us to talk to leaders, community builders. So when I say leaders, leaders from the business world, the corporate world, about the challenges that they go through to get to where they are right now, and also just to have them to share what is the mental model, what is the mindset, what was the attitude they had while facing the challenges, and rising above all these challenges. And I guess that is something that we would like to know, because challenges itself, I think many people could relate to, right? And
Sure.
yeah, just to learn what other when I'm facing these kind of challenges, probably I can try out a few ideas, where the leaders have applied in their lives, right?
Surely. Yeah.
And yeah, today we have a great guest. Her name is Stephanie Caunter.
That's right.
So she will be sharing the insight of juggling mommyhood and the corporate world.
That's right. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome to
Hi,
the talk
Hi,
ladies.
show.
Stephanie.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hi,
Lovely to have you here,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations for being MIA Zoo.
Marketing in Asia's LinkedIn top 100
yes.
personality in Malaysia. You should follow in 2020.
Thanks so
Yeah,
much
Congrats.
for putting me on the list. It's a great honor.
Yes, pleasure. Your pleasure.
Stephanie, talk to us about, probably we can just start with you talking about yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I tell people I am an engineer by training who kind of accidentally stumbled into marketing, and then I found my passion along the way. So when I started out as an engineer, way back when, early in my career, I was spending time climbing down manholes when I was part of an electrical utility. Then I moved on to software coding. I was programming chips at Intel. But I think I was a little bit lost in those days. I didn't, a job was just a job to me. I didn't really have a passion for it. I didn't really know, what was the impact of my work. And I was lucky enough at that time to be at Intel, and a role for marketing came up, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. And I liked that a lot better, but still wasn't quite there for me. And then I moved around a little bit more, and I ended up with a role in PwC. In PwC, if you guys don't know, it's a big, accounting, tax, and consulting firm, right? And I spent 10 years there, which for some people is like a lifetime. But I was able to spend such a long time there because that's where it really came together for me. Every year I was doing something new. I was learning. I was growing as a leader, as a person. I became a mom while I was at PwC. And it was also around the time that social media and digital marketing eventually just started to explode into the scene. So I was lucky enough, I got to pioneer a lot of these new things for PwC. And so it was really a lot of fun and great learning experience. Eventually I left, and today I'm with ADA. It's part of Axiata Group. And we are a data and AI company that designs integrated digital analytics and marketing solutions for our clients. And it's really interesting because this is a business that's about 2 years old. I joined about a year plus ago. So I've been part of the team that's growing the business, and it's been really cool seeing how much we've grown and evolved. And it's a role that's regional because we're present in 9 different countries. So I get to learn about Indonesia, Thailand, Bangladesh. It's, really something new to learn every day. So I'm very lucky. I found my passion in marketing. And aside from work, I'm a working mom. I've got my husband and I have 2 young daughters, and I'm biased, but they're absolutely adorable. Although they drive me on a very regular basis, so I guess it evens things out. And I'm also personally a huge proponent of gender diversity and inclusion. And I'm privileged enough to sit on the Lean in Malaysia Board of Advisors. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Cool.
So you very cool. Yeah. You have young daughters 6 and 8. Yeah, Stephanie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as working mothers, right? I mean, both myself and Nini as well, we have 2 young children. I think for mothers like us, we often find that we feel pulled in different areas, right? Like there's work and there's kids, dividing the time with the kids and all that. How do you maneuver that in your life?
That's a great question. Great question. And I don't think I have all the answers. Yeah, I'm just kind of figuring it out all the time. I think one of the things, I've come to realize with motherhood is you just have to try your best. And your way is your way, right? Nini's way may be a different way. Zoo, you may do it a different way, but it's okay because, as parents, we're always just trying our best. We want the best for our kids. And in order to be the best for our kids, it also means that we as individuals have to be happy with our own lives, right? So whether it's a career or a personal hobby or a cause that you have, we have to be able to balance that as well. So for me, it's always been just about knowing that it's a choice that I make to raise my kids this way. And there's no right or wrong. I'm just trying my best. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice, right? So, how long were you in the corporate world? Then you got into motherhood. So you had your first child, a 2012 baby, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how long have you been in the corporate world then?
So are you making me reveal my age now? I've been working for probably about 10 years, a bit more than that, actually, more than 10 years by the time I had my first kid. Yeah. So I had my first kid a bit older. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So how was it like? How was it like after being in the corporate world for 10 years and
Actually, more than
then
Yeah.
more than 10 years, and then suddenly, when this little human come into your life, right? So they are like so cute, and
Yeah.
then so when you get back to work, that's when it's like I forgot what's the movie, but that's when everything will happen at the same time, right? So what was it like for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think you took the words out of my mouth, So that I was a point in my life. I remember when my biological clock, it wasn't just ticking, it was like booming. I was like so badly, right? So when our first daughter was born, she was everything, right? The most precious thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
But I was not prepared. I thought I was prepared. I had read up, done my research. My sister had just given birth to her daughter like 3 months before me, so I had seen her go through it. But nothing prepares you for motherhood, the physical, the mental, the emotional change that you go through.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, going back to work, at that time, maternity leave was only 2 months. I went back to work after 2 months. And, first you have this guilt, I'm leaving my baby, this living, breathing, tiny human being that's dependent on me. I'm leaving her for like 10 hours a day. And I'm a little bit of a control freak. So not being able to control, how she's being taken care of, that was like freaking me out. And then also I went back to work, and to be honest, some of my team members kind of resented me at the time because I'd been away, right? And they had to cover for me while I was away. And they were expecting me to come back and just be full speed ahead and to take back some of that workload. But it was so tough. I was like juggling breastfeeding, sleepless nights. My daughter was not sleeping, I remember. And it was just crazy. It was a big change for me. But I got through it somehow. But I always credit that time as being really instrumental in kind of shaping the leader that I am today, because it made me realize that the people at work, everyone has their own problems to deal with, right? And as leaders, it's our role to, find out and to be aware of what's happening with our team members. Some people like to say the professional life and the personal life shouldn't mix, but I don't think that's possible, right? We spend 40, 50 hours a week at work, and we're just humans. So of course, the two worlds have to combine. So as a leader, I feel like, look, I need to know what's going on with my team. And if they have an issue, whether it's dealing with a young family or, I don't know, taking care of a sick parent, or, maybe you've got physical or mental health issues, whatever it is, I need to be able to support you and give you that guidance and that space and that time when you need it. Without the support, they may not stay. But with the support, it helps them to be so much more, right? So I will always remember that time, and it's been really instrumental for who I am today.
Right. Like that a lot. Yeah. So in your opinion, hearing from you, I can tell, even from the way you say it, you're a very passionate leader. I just need to know from you, what is the difference between a good leader and a great leader?
Oh, wow. Great question. So I guess I look at my own, role models in the workplace, and what makes them a great leader. So one of my role models is my ex-boss at PwC. Until today, whether she likes it or not, she will be my mentor for life. So even though, if I'm having a problem at work, I'll call her up and be like, I need some advice. But the difference is, with her, she really, she treated us as individuals. She really took the time to get to know each of her team members. I mean, she invested so much in me personally, in helping me develop, both technically and as a person. And she was always able to pull the team together because of that, because of how much she had invested in each of us. So it didn't matter if, we were different personalities, we had different views on things, because we all looked to her and respected her, we would come together as a team. And it was a very high-performing team. I'm very proud to have worked for her. And so I think that's one of the things that really makes a great leader stand apart. It's about developing that team and seeing them grow and rise to become maybe even better than who they were originally.
Totally.
And I guess the ability to have empathy is very, very important as a leader, right? Just putting myself in your shoe. Why is this happening? Why are you not producing results? So how can, what's happening with you, but how can I be of contribution to what's happening right now, right?
Exactly.
So how would, the journey in the corporate world, being where you are right now, have any link to mommyhood? Because I know that it looks like it's a two totally different space, right? But again, they say that however that you are playing in your life, it does reflect in different areas of your life as well. The same thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
How do you think it is connected? What do you think?
I mean, so many ways. I talked about how, becoming a mom for the first time kind of changed me as a person and as a leader. I think that's one example. And then now, having my daughters, part of the reason why I continue with my career and push myself is because I want to be a role model for them. I want them to know that, look, it is possible. If you desire next time to, pursue your career, you can do it, and you can still have a family, right? So I want them to see me as a positive influence in their life. So that always drives me. And I think, like I said before, the personal and the professional will always combine. I don't think it really is possible to separate them. By being a mother, I am a better person. I'm a better leader. It also gives me this extra incentive. Before I became a mom, if you didn't feel like working one day, just be like, okay, I'm just not going to go in, But once you become a mom, you can't do that anymore, right? Because you got to wake up. You got to send the kids to school. That's kind of routine. It just made me grow up a lot and realize that, look, my behavior doesn't just affect me. It affects, my team members, my colleagues, the people around me. And so it just made me be a much more, I guess, aware, responsible team member at the workplace.
That's right. Yeah. And
Nice.
yeah, totally. I just want to backtrack a little.
Yeah.
You were saying that you were climbing down manhole, even though
Yeah.
I couldn't see you as that person. So I cannot imagine. But so now you're into marketing. You've been in marketing for like the longest time. What is it
Yes.
about marketing? Because I'm from Marketing in Asia, so I'm very
Yeah.
curious. What is
Yeah.
it about marketing that you're very passionate about that
Um,
made you stay?
yeah.
Mm,
Great question. I think for me, what I love about it is it combines, one, it brings out the creative side of me, but
mm,
it combines that with the analytical side of me. So I'm an engineer by training, so I'm quite an analytical, structured person. So it brings these two together,
mm,
and blends it together nicely. And, through marketing, I'm solving problems, right? I'm solving business problems or challenges, but I'm solving them through a huge variety of approaches. You can do so many
mm,
different things in marketing, right?
mm, mm,
Um, and one of the other things I really like about being in marketing in this day and age is the constant change, right? Because of digital, because of technology, there's
mm.
something happening every day, right?
Yeah.
There's no excuse to get bored or to not
Mm,
learn something new. During this MCO period, we, like you guys, we started our own series of webinars. Never done a webinar before, right? But we realized like, hey, you have to do this, and it's been fantastic.
mm,
Uh, LinkedIn is a huge part of what we do at work. So we were learning a lot more about, okay, how do we really use LinkedIn to deliver business results? So there's just
mm,
something new to learn every day. I just love it. So I thrive on constantly, try, learning new things and trying to solve new problems.
Nice
Mm.
one. Mm,
Very, very cool. So because you talk about LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
And, um, you know, how have LinkedIn benefited you as a woman in corporate during this MCO time? Because I know that there are so many business owners, so many entrepreneurs would use LinkedIn, just do branding and positioning, constantly curating content.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how is it like in the marketing line in
Yeah.
corporate right
Um,
now?
okay, let me think about this. Well, one, LinkedIn for me personally is a kind of a great outlet because I love to write, but I don't have time to. And I used to be a columnist, for the Edge, but I
mm,
don't have time to
yeah.
constantly write long columns. So with LinkedIn, I get to do these, shorter pieces, right? And I was a little bit inspired actually by Marketing in Asia, your list last year when you guys
Yeah.
reached the 100, and I was like, hey, that's an interesting list. I think I could also
Mm,
try and become a bit of an influencer. So I spent a little bit
there
more
you go.
time. Yeah, it's a nice outlet for me to,
Mm,
do my writing, put out my thoughts, and also, personal branding, which is great.
mm,
Um,
mm,
but for the business also, it's been fantastic. So, we use it a lot because we are in the B2B space. So my
mm,
target audience are other businesses, right? And so LinkedIn is the perfect platform for that. So we use it a lot just to communicate about who we are, what do we do at ADA, how do we bring benefit to our clients. And it's been great. I've actually had quite a few people approach me during this period on LinkedIn, looking for advice, which I've then been able to take back to to the workplace. Yeah.
Hmm.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Mm. And since you've been at the helm of a few companies that you worked for, since this is like this series is particularly for women, one
Yeah.
question for you:
Yeah.
what is it about? Let's talk about insecurity in women. What have you
Mm.
seen so far, right, in your helm during your even now the insecurity that sets them back from advancement?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Have you
Mm.
guys heard of the term imposter syndrome?
Yes,
Right.
yes,
So,
definitely.
you're even very, very successful people who you think they've got it all sorted out, look super confident, even
Mm,
they can feel like, hey, what am I doing here? Do I really deserve to be at this seat at the table? Do I really know
mm,
what I'm doing? Am I just lucky? So even really successful people have that, and I feel it all the time. Um, and I think some people say that women suffer from it more. I don't know if that's true, but I definitely do personally deal with insecurity even until today. Um, but one of the things, I guess, that if you want to succeed, whether it's in the corporate line or in your own business, like you, Nini, it, you have to get over that. And if you can't, what's the best thing to do? Just fake it till you make it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just put yourself out there, and eventually you get a little bit more comfortable each time, right? Raise your hand, try and speak up at that important meeting. Put yourself in a position, if there's a job opportunity out there that you think you're interested in, just go for it. It's hard because we're so insecure, but we have to keep trying. And every time you try a little bit more, I think you get a little bit better at it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. You just have to start the ball rolling. Yeah.
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 So talking about that, right? So that you have been a high flyer in the corporate world. So seeing you at few events and all that, and I've always I see you, right? And I guess there are many times that when in relationships, right, with your husband or with boyfriends, this is for generally for women out there. There could be, they say that, the husband will feel intimidated by the wife or the girlfriend because the wife is a high flyer, right? Or the wife is more prominent in the society, something like that. Being a woman,
Yeah.
being a mother,
Yeah.
a high flyer in the corporate world,
Yeah.
juggling all that at the same time. Okay, because I know that your journey is not over yet, right? So you are still pushing your way, right? So how is it? How is it like? Does it does it bring any challenges to you
To my
in
partner, to my husband.
relationship?
Yeah.
Not to your husband, like you. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. I had this relationship in my early 20s, and it ended quite badly. But one of the things that it taught me about that relationship was how I couldn't let my romantic relationship define me. So, and it also taught me about what is acceptable and what's not acceptable for me in my partner. So, today, of course, I'm married and love my husband and we've built a life together. But I've always known that I'm still my own person, I have dreams, I have ambitions, and I'm not just going to be all about the relationship, right? That's a very important part of my life, but it's not everything. So I think even though that relationship in my early 20s was tough, it taught me something that I carry with me till today. And I think when I was when I met my husband, I knew also, like, look, this guy, he's also confident in his own way. He's got his own thing going as well, and I think that's what makes it work for us. We have our own careers. We both have our own dreams, and we support each other. And we're not going to let insecurities, you know, cause a disruption in the relationship, because it's a partnership, right? So it's about supporting each other and doing it for the family, and for ourselves. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, because I like what you said. You do not let your relationship define you, which I think many women, especially of certain age, like younger girls, let the relationship define them. Right? I mean, I've been guilty of that as well.
Yeah.
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 So I'm moving on to branding, because I know you are a branding expert. Yeah, in whatever you do in the companies that you've been with and all that.
That's right.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, we've been stalking you, lah. That's what we know. So, so branding is a word these days. 5 to 6 years ago, I don't think we've heard of the word branding. It's now it's rampantly used. What's your take on modern day branding, Steph?
Are you talking about personal branding or like for a brand?
Okay,
a
let's talk
corporate
about
brand?
let's talk about personal branding.
personal branding. Yeah, I mean, I think personal branding, yeah, definitely it's taken it's much more center stage nowadays. And I think thanks to, social media, it has opened up huge avenues. I mean, just look at all the influencers out there. Uh, have you guys been on TikTok? Oh my God.
Yes.
So one of the things I discovered, yes, one of the things I
know
discovered
that I've
thanks
been
to TikTok, right? And I was like, wow, these people are amazing, right? What they're doing out there. But yeah, thanks to social media, people have this opportunity now, right? You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be, a CEO in order to build your own personal brand. But what's important, I think, is that you do have to take charge of that personal brand, right? So I think you have to be quite mindful about what you put up on social media. So for me, if you go on LinkedIn and stalk me, I guess you form a certain perception about me. And that's because I made a conscious effort to, kind of share things and talk about stuff that I want associated with me. So whether it's being someone in marketing, being a person who is passionate about gender diversity, being a working parent, those are things that I consciously put out there. So I think one piece of advice would be to make sure that you take charge of that personal brand and be careful about what you put out on social media. Yeah.
Talking personal brand, right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this question. So being in marketing and branding, I
Yeah.
guess first our personal brand as the marketeer, right? Being a marketing professional is very, very important, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to be out from a room, right, and if there are questions or
Oh
survey
no.
being
I know what you meant.
done, so who is Stephanie Caunter, and what do you think will be your brand? Hang on, in two very different realm. So that because you are very active in the community world, about women empowerment, gender equality, inclusivity, and all that, and also the corporate world. Two different areas. What do you think?
I mean, I get asked these kind of things at job interviews and stuff too. I don't know. We are the best judges of ourselves, really. Can we really judge ourselves? I'll try. I guess my corporate brand, right, would be, obviously a marketer, I hope, but also um, someone who will get things done. So, I think what the difference with me is that if you give me something, if you throw a challenge at me, I'll figure it out somehow. And that's what I enjoy. I like being given new challenges, a tough challenge, and I'll figure it out somehow. So that's me. And, I'm someone who thrives on learning new things, trying out new challenges. And that's why, I'm in ADA, which is a very, very different business from PwC, which is where I was before. I think that's my corporate brand. On the other hand, you're asking about the whole gender diversity and all that. I describe myself as a feminist. I know some women aren't comfortable with that word, I think, but I'm proudly a feminist. I believe that women can and are great leaders, but I'm also, I think, an empathetic leader. I do try to, develop my team members and try to give them opportunities as well, because I've been opportunities in the past and I want to pay it forward. Which is why I'm, very active in Lean In and all that, because I believe that I can help other women also. I'm a mentor to women and all that. And I believe that's important in helping to bring up other women in their lives.
Right. You mentioned mentor. How important is a mentor in someone's life, especially for someone just starting in their career?
So important, right? And I don't think usually early in your career, you don't realize how important it is, and people don't always tell you, but it's important. And you don't just have to have one mentor, right? I think very often people have more than one mentor. You can have different mentors for different reasons, right? Or for different times of your life. But a mentor is important because, it's someone who's there for you, who will have your back, who will give you, I guess, kind of an unbiased point of view, you know, sounding board, someone who, gives you that, um, non-judgmental kind of support that you need. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's critical, which is why today I'm a pretty active mentor myself as well.
Nice.
The person who would actually throw the devil's advocate card on you, right? Has the permission to
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, yeah, sometimes they give you the hardest, right, types of feedback or throw you the hardest challenges that you wouldn't do on your own. Yeah. But that's when you experience the biggest growth, right? When you're given something that's totally out of your comfort zone, that's when you experience the biggest growth. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Agree. 101%. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask you this question. So I know that you mentioned it earlier in the show that the kind of leader that you are right now is, being mother the first time has contributed to you being a leader, right?
Yeah.
But personality wise, the kind of woman that you are. So for example, right? So I would love to go on bungee jumping, all those extreme sports that I could go to last time before I actually got married and have children. But now I don't really feel like taking the risk unless I feel okay, I'll do it because I want to, right? But last time, like, sucker for it. Um, what significant journey or significant memory or significant element of motherhood that you think have shaped you to become the individual that you are right now as a woman, as a mother? What do you think will be?
That's a really good question. I don't know if there's one moment, I think one of the things I've come to realize with being a mom, and I'm sure you guys will identify with this too, is that it constantly changes. Like when they're really small, it's super physical, right? So then you're just tired all the time. And then when you're over there, you're like, yes, I'm done. It's so much easier now. But then they start going to school, and that's a whole new challenge, right? Right? Yeah. So I remember when my daughter was in standard one, so then it's okay, kindergarten's over. Now she's in standard one, and the younger one is in kindergarten. Now it's a whole new set of schedule. And so that was a whole new thing. So I think with motherhood, just it's knowing that it's going to constantly change. You don't know what to expect. I hope that I'll be the type of mom where my girls will still, even when they get older, they'll still want to come to me and talk to me. I hope and pray that that's the kind of relationship I'll have with them. But I guess there's only so much of it I can control, to be honest. I'll just try my best. I think what's important is that we realize that, again, like I said before, you just try your best. You want the best for your kids, you try your best. I think we also look at how our moms raised us. I know that I always look at how my parents raised me, and I've learned a lot from that. And I appreciate them a whole lot more now that I'm a mom. And I want to take the best parts of that and try and apply it to my kids as well. But I don't know. My kids are still very young. They tell me that when they go through that teenage years, it's going to be a whole new thing. I think I got to know that I've got to be resilient about it and just expect the unexpected. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I actually like Nini's question a lot because like what you mentioned, I was the same. I mean, before you can travel anywhere and do anything, but after you have kids, even traveling on a plane without them back home to Singapore, I will have like reservations like, oh, what if something happened to me? What's going to happen to my kids? So I totally get your question, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing what motherhood does to you.
Yeah.
Unnecessary risk, no need, kan?
Huh? What?
Unnecessary risk, then no need lah, right?
Exactly. And it's amazing, right? It's amazing how our mind works. Since we're at this topic about kids and motherhood and all that, I want to know, what's your morning routine like, Stephanie?
Well,
I love this morning routine question.
but now the MCO's totally changed, routine is like
Okay, before the MCO.
before The MCO thing is before the MCO, it's I like to get up really early. So I was never a morning person. One of the things
Okay.
that motherhood has done forced me to become a morning person, right? But I found that, when you're up at like 5 a.m., that's the best time. Nobody's awake. I can really get some stuff done. So sometimes I wake up at 5, maybe do a little bit of work that I hadn't finished the night before. And then I like to get my exercise in. So I'm a bit of an exercise junkie. And I realized that getting it done first thing in the morning is a lot easier than trying to do it at the end of the day, for me at least. So I work out either at the gym where we live or with my trainer twice a week before MCO. I haven't seen her for a long time now, but before the MCO, twice a week. And I love my exercise. That's what keeps me going. Gives me that, the endorphins. Even during this MCO, there were times when I was just feeling so down, but get a good workout, and then you're like, okay, I feel slightly better now. All is right again with the world. And of course, coffee. I'm a big coffee person.
Saving
I love my
grace, that
coffee.
one.
Yeah.
I love coffee.
We all should meet for coffee after this, huh? After all this is
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm asking you this question because I think you are one of the modern young mom who
Not so
has
young
a
anymore. Wish I was
young
young.
lah, young lah,
Yeah.
young. So you know why? So I'm telling the audience. So people always say that, oh, Nini, you're always wearing topi in your show, right? Because it's MCO. I don't have time to go to the salon. I have so much of white hair going on that's so funky right now.
Now we
So
know.
it's just that this is an easy fix.
I love that. That's a great life hack.
Right?
Right?
It is.
So I was saying again. So I'm asking you this because you're this
Very
young
honest.
and modern mom, right? And I see, based on social media and all that. So you are always leading a hectic life, and I've been asked this question all the time, right? Because I include, so I'm kind of indecisive in a way that I want to be a woman on my own, but I'm clingy at the same time. So I would drag my husband to my event. Sampai he will give me a quota only twice a week. And then during peak time, only once a week, because you'll have like more than 2, 3 in a month, right? So my question to you is that how do you actually enroll your husband? This is for the benefit of the audience, right? So people will always ask me, so how do you get your husband to buy into you doing community work rather than cook at home or jaga the children at home, that kind of thing, or do like domestic stuff, kind like that. So how do you enroll your husband to just be okay with you doing it? And I know that was by choice, right? Probably that you have a discussion and all that. Was it important to you or your passion? But how do you get your husband to be enrolled into what you want to do that is important for you? Because it's so different with me, the business world, because we have our own time and all that. So being in the corporate world is more hectic, right? So what do you think?
I think very good question. So I think when I met my husband and before we got married, I made him know. Well, I mean, I made it obvious the kind of person I am. So he knew like, okay, this one, she's not a very she's not going to make a good housewife. She doesn't really like to cook. So that was already clear. But also he knew that career is important to me and career is important to him as well. So we both align in that sense. It matters to us. So I think we went into the marriage knowing, first of all, this was already set. And one piece of advice I would always give to younger women is you have to be conscious about these things. You have to talk about them, right? Don't assume that he will support you later on and will be supportive of your career choices. You have to make sure that he agrees, because if not, what could be more difficult, right? So we went in knowing that. But I think along the way also, it's a constant work in progress, right? There are times, obviously, where I feel like I'm doing more work than him, you know. So it's just about communicating. We have to communicate. There are times when I'll just, I just really share with him, like, I'm just so frustrated, and these are the things I'm dealing with. So that he knows, right? And he's not perfect, I'm not perfect, but at least when we communicate and we share how we're feeling, then we see each other's point of view, and we again, it goes back to the whole point that this is a partnership, right? You can't
Right.
raise a family on your own. We're doing it together. So yeah, I think communication is key. And of course, going in knowing that, look, this guy is going to support me. He's not going to say like, you have to stay at home. I wouldn't have married him if that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. As a mother of two and being married for as long as you have, how important are date nights for you and your husband to keep the romance and momentum going?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, date nights are really important. You do need to make time for the relationship. Um, we could do it better, I must say. Sometimes, life just gets, busy, kids. The kids are always there, family. So I think we could do it better. But it's so important, right? You have to carve out that time just to spend with each other and just share what's going on, talk, have fun, have a good time. Yeah. I think I
Nice.
will make a mental note to do a bit more of it, though.
Okay.
Thanks
Good
for
thing.
reminding me.
Pleasure. Oh, can you hear Nini? Can you hear Nini,
No,
Steph? Because I can
Nini, we
hear it.
can't hear you.
Can hear you. Yeah. No, yesterday was so glitchy. We even lost our guest a few times. So,
Oh, it
mm,
happens.
it happens, yeah. So, I have this question for you. Oh, what was it? All right. So, to keep you motivated, because, we all need motivation sometimes
Yeah.
during your down days, especially this MCO, right? Because I think there are periods that we feel down. What brings you back up? Like, what's your motivation factors?
Um, so I think actually, this MCO, there were a couple of periods where I was really down.
Mm,
Uh, and I guess, there was one early on in the MCO, maybe a few weeks in, where we had, my team and I had just been working so hard. And then suddenly I just felt this like, ugh, I'm just so down. And then I noticed that one of my LinkedIn acquaintances had been, she's a motivational coach and all that. She had been sharing with organizations, how to deal with, mental health and all that during the MCO. So I actually got her to come and give us a little talk to the team, which was really
okay.
nice because she shared that, look, this is a very common kind of feeling, to experience
Mm,
kind of down after a few weeks
mm,
of the MCO, because
right,
it's an unusual time, right? No one
right.
expected this to happen. We're all dealing with a new way of living, and we're trying to work hard, and yet, things are a bit chaotic. So it was good to know that I'm not the only one feeling this way.
Mm,
Um, and the fact that we talked about it on that call with me and the rest of my team members and her, it really helped. So I
mm,
think, it's always good to know that there's someone that you can talk to that is there just to listen to you.
mm,
Um, but the other thing is, I would say, one thing to always keep in mind is it will get better eventually. So,
sure.
I've gone through times in my life, right? Tough times, challenging times. It can be really hard when you're really low,
Mm,
to remember, but it will eventually get better. So I think we have to always keep that, the horizon in mind, like things will eventually get better. I just need to get through this. Yeah. And I
mm,
think that for me, that helps me, get through the tough times.
right, yeah. In terms of books, what kind of books are you inclined to?
Oh, I'm a big fiction person.
It's okay.
So I love fiction, and I've actually been reading a lot. So one of the great things about MCO, wow, I picked up my reading again.
Tell me
Uh,
about it.
yeah.
You have all
So
the
I
time
just
in the world now.
I just read this really, really good book actually, and it's very appropriate for this period. So it's called Eleanor Oliphant is Just Fine.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I don't know if you've heard of it.
It
Eleanor
rings a
Oliphant
bell.
is Just
Yeah, but what is it about? Rings the bell though.
Yeah, so it's about this young girl called Eleanor, and she's quite an unusual person. Lives alone, has a very regimented life where she goes to work, comes home, eats the same meal every day. On the weekends, so you kind of figure out, okay, this girl's a bit off, she's a bit unusual. And as the story goes by, then you realize that, okay, there's a little bit more to her story. She was abused by her mom. Yeah, and so that she has all this back history, and it's about how she comes to realize that she needs to deal with all of it, and she needs open up. She makes a friend in the book. She opens up and she deals with all this past history that she was trying to kind of, I guess, not deal with. And I think it's kind of perfect for this period because we're all going through this, MCO. It's like so difficult. But we need to know that we need to reach out. We need to deal with these issues, right? And I love that book because even though it sounds like a very depressing kind of book, it was written in a nice way. Like there were really some moments where you just laugh out loud. It's very easy to read, and yet it's a very heartwarming story at the same time. So yeah, I really liked it. You should go check it out.
Very nice. What's the title again? I'll go and check it out.
Eleanor Oliphant. Eleanor Oliphant is just mine.
Okay, cool. I'll go and check it out. Since we are talking about Eleanor Oliphant, and you have two girls, what is the kind of mindset that you are trying to harness in your girls? Because they are growing in times of, it's not an easy time to be out there because there's social media, there's a lot of influence we're not used to, right, when we're growing up. Yeah. So what's the kind of mindset do you want to put in your girls?
That's a great question. And the social media thing, I think, actually really worries me all the time. Like, what's it going to be like? Yeah. But
do you let your children?
So for me, it's always about, I want them to be confident in themselves, and to know that, they're fine just the way they are, and that they can always come to me or their father. We're just here for them. There's no judgment. I think that's really important. We want our kids to grow up being secure in who they are, so that when as they grow up and become get a bit older and with social media and all that, there won't be that peer pressure. I mean, they're bound to this, but at least if you are secure in yourself and you know that, look, if anything happens, I can go to my parents. At least they will have my back no matter what. Then hopefully they're able to deal with that kind of peer pressure a little bit better. So which is why, again, it goes back to the whole thing of gender diversity and empowerment and all that. I feel it's so important that we let our young girls know that, you can do it, and you have a choice, and you can take charge of your life and be whatever it is you want to be. I think it's so critical for our young women. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I like that a lot. Yeah, because being girls is not easy. I mean, being boys is something else, but because we're women, so we would understand girls better, right? Because growing up, we grew up the same way, but with different kind of elements, which is not present during our time. Where do you see yourself in few years, in 5 years, say in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? What do you want to do, say in 5 years? Do you have any plans as of yet?
So you think that by this time I would know, right, what I want to do in 5 years by this age, and then after. But to be honest, I mean, really, I can't predict what's going to happen in 5 years. I don't really know. I mean, I don't even really know what I want to do 2 years down the road.
Right, especially at this point, with the MCO going and all that.
Yeah,
right?
But it's really hard. I mean, I've always struggled with this question, even when I was younger and all that. What do you want to do in 5 years? I'm like, it's really hard for me to say, but I know that for me, my career is important, and I want to continue to grow no matter what it is. So it doesn't mean like having to climb the ladder, but I want to be able to make sure that I am growing and that I'm still relevant. So one of the things in the past few years that I have made sure is that I want to be relevant to my career. So I don't want to get stuck in a place where, I can't get out and my skills are no longer applicable. So keeping up to date all the time, especially in this digital world, is critical. So I want to be relevant no matter what, and to be able to bring impact to whichever organization I am with. And I hope, in 5 years' time that being part of the Lean In board, actually, we hope in 5 years' time that we will see some significant changes for women empowerment in Malaysia, right? So we want to see more and more women leaders being recognized. We want to see issues like, you know, child marriage and all that. We want to see all those things addressed, right? And hopefully in 5 years, we will see a slightly better Malaysia for women.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that a lot. It seems that we have lost Nini for now. Just give me a second, Steph. I'll just have to refresh my screen. I just
Sure.
have to get her back here. Just give me a second, okay?
No worries.
Stephanie, can you see me?
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me? Steph?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I
Nini,
think.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I think Steph cannot hear us now.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay. It's fine. Then we will chat at the.
Mm.
Can you refresh your screen? Let's put her down for a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. So we have having some technical issues right now.
That's right. Yeah. That was a good discussion, though.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hang on. Um. So we will keep on going until
Yeah.
just a few more minutes. So sorry. So that was like a really good discussion with Stephanie,
Yes,
but we
definitely.
are so we are trying to
Get her back, yeah, on
get
the
her back.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she is refreshing her screen right now.
Okay.
So I guess it's like a glitchy line, or is it with the platform? Yes, she's
Mm.
back. Hmm. Hang on. I can see her.
Hi, Steph.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
Can you
We're
see
back.
Hi.
Steph?
Can you hear all of us? Both of us? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You're back. We're back.
Okay, cool. Tech issue.
Yeah. Some tech
So
situation
go
there.
on. Go on Zoom. Go on.
So I think my last question, I think Steph has already addressed that. And do you have any questions for Steph? Nini?
All the three of us are online now. Steph, can you hear
Yes?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Nini?
Yay! Yahoo! Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
Okay.
everyone now. I can
Okay,
hear
great,
and
great.
see everyone. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So now go on first Zoom because I'm like thinking because I'm like in the tech punya thing right now.
Okay. With what's the MCO? What's the hardest thing that you think went through with you during the MCO?
Well, I guess
Anything of one.
I'm probably one of the luckier ones, right? I still have a job. I live with my husband and my kids. So I'm not alone. So I always count my blessings, but it has been hard, you know. I think for me it was just this not having that, you know, being able to get up in the morning and go somewhere, not having that human interaction with people, you know. Yeah, we were doing all these Zoom calls and Teams calls. It's not the same. So I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that, just, you know, the human interaction. Sometimes some conversations you just need to have them in person. So I think it's just this whole, you know, being at home constantly and then being worried about, okay, what's it going to be like when the MCO was lifted and all of that. And one of the things I realized is that none of us were taking any leave. I don't know about you guys, but none of us have taken any leave since the start of the year. So it's almost been half a year, no leave. So it's really great that the ADA decided this week, this Raya week, to just shut the office down. So we've all been off for 1 week, and I made a conscious decision. I said to my team, you guys are not working, I'm not working. Let's not, check our emails and all that. And it's been so good to just,
Fantastic.
just shut off from work for a while and, just do what you need to do at home without that work things. And so now I think when I go back on Monday, I'll be feeling a lot better. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yes, definitely, right?
Yeah.
Stephanie, just so that we honor our promise to you, right? So we were supposed to finish at 10:30, but because of the glitch a little bit, do you mind if we make up some time, like 5-10 minutes? Will that be okay with you?
Sure.
Okay. So
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Because I have like so many other questions, right? So I'm really curious because I'm not other than being vendors to the corporate or that kind of interaction, that kind of relationship with the corporate world, I've not been like literally in a corporate position before.
Oh,
except for like a non-executive director in some companies lah, right? So I've not experienced being in the corporate world lah, kan? Just as simple as that. So how is it like, how is it like being or probably let me rephrase that question, what is it that you love being in the corporate world about? What is it? I'm really curious.
Okay, interesting question. It's not just, I guess, the corporate world, but it's about being in the right kind of environment and the right kind of business. So, I've been to quite a few different companies, and when you find the right place, one where you kind of connect with the purpose of the business, and you find yourself in an environment that, like, you could see yourself learning and growing, and you can learn from the people, and it's a good culture. I think that's really critical, because and being in a corporate, you usually can see a bit of a path, right? So there's all these extra things about learning how to deal with office dynamics, politics, office politics, people call it. Even in the best places, there will always be some form of office politics. So, but it helps you, right? If you're able to learn how to deal with that, it helps you even if you go out and do your own thing, right? How do you deal with different personalities? How do you learn to influence people? Even if they don't report to you, you still have to be able to influence, right? Your stakeholders, your partners, your board, whatever it is. And I think all those are critical things that you can learn when you're in that corporate environment. So that's what I guess that's what I enjoy. But really important, I think, is to find the right place that where it resonates with you as a person. So if it's not the right place for you, you will know it. Yeah. And then
Yeah. Since we're at that topic about corporate world, how important is an accolade, you think, for your staff? Do you think it's important to honor someone, to give an accolade for someone who's done a work well? Do you think it's important for the growth? Yeah.
For sure. I mean, for me personally and for my team members, I mean, I think, the little appreciation, even if it's not a formal piece of accolade, but just a sincere, like, well done, thank you, recognition, those go such a long way. Sometimes it even makes a bigger difference than a pay rise. I'm sure a pay rise, people want the bonus and the pay rise, but sometimes, that thank you, that like recognition that, wow, this was a great job, you've made a difference, that goes such a long way. And I've come to learn that because I've experienced it myself, right? But in places where people are not used to practicing that, it's not so good, right? People need to feel appreciated. It really makes them go the extra mile. Yeah.
Sure. Do you think, I just have a continuation to that question, do you think in Asia we lack that? We lack that accolade, like we recognize people. Do you think in Asia we lack that, or how is the situation now in Asia?
I think it's okay now. It's a lot better. People are more and more aware of the need to appreciate, our
Mm.
colleagues at work, uh, give them recognition. People realize that there's more to motivation than just monetary benefits, right? So I think it's a lot better
Mm.
now. Personally, I work in a place where there's all forms of recognition. We do the official recognition. I make it a point to every now and then at my team meeting to recognize a couple of people for stuff they've done. Yeah, I think it's
Mm.
improved a lot now in Asia. People are more aware.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nice.
Hmm.
Very nice. Yeah. Mm.
Um, so being in the corporate world as well, right? So I'm still on it, right? On the topic. How what is it like? What kind of pressure, or do you feel it, or do you not, right? The pressure of performing, um, or climbing up the ladder, as just keep on going, because really success is um, different for each individual, because if you reach a certain stage and you think that, oh, this is okay for me already, so this is where I want to be right now, I'm okay if I don't go any further, right?
Yeah.
um, but really, generally, for women now in the corporate world, what's the pressure like for on yourself, or do you have it or not? How is it really like for you to actually keep on going?
Yeah. Here's another piece of advice that I would like to share with not with you guys, but more for younger people. I think you have to take charge of your career. So don't
Mm-hmm.
think that someone else will do it for you. Don't think that just because you're working hard and doing a good job, you will be recognized. So that's a fact. Okay, so in the corporate world, you have to take charge of your career. You have to make sure that people are aware of the good work
Mm-hmm.
you've done. So you've got to make sure that somehow they know who you are, that they're aware that you've done this piece of work. So find a way to make that happen. Whether I feel pressure, I think
Mm.
a lot of the time the pressure comes from myself because I have this,
Mm-hmm.
this desire to, achieve certain goals and hit certain positions and all that. But really, that's a personal choice. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
think, the pressure. I mean, of course, everyone has different pressures with work itself. Your boss might want you to do certain things and all that. But climbing the ladder, I think that's really a personal thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes actually, there have been times when I've had to tell myself, look, it's okay, right? Another thing is to not compare to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was younger, I used to do that a lot, compare myself with my friends, with colleagues, and be like, why am I not as good as this person? So it's improved with age, but I still do it sometimes. And I have to remind myself, look, I'm on my own journey. I'm grappling with my own things. What looks great for someone else, there might be something else going on behind, what we see, right? So I think it's really important to just be aware of not comparing yourself and just being on your own journey. And you should be your own, I guess, benchmark that you want to hit. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Mm.
it's practically the
Mm.
same as the business world too, huh?
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I guess
Yeah.
even more so for you, right? Because you're the boss, right? You set the rules,
So
right?
yeah, so we get to choose what size or what kind of commitment that we want to have. How far do we want to take the business, or what kind of projects that we want to get into? Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
of course,
Mm.
success is very different for different people.
It totally is. Yeah. So it's just why
Exactly.
you don't compare, right? Yeah. And things
Yeah.
may look a certain way on the outside, but you don't know what's really going on for someone behind that,
Yep.
behind that facade. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Again, the comparing bit comes to play, isn't it? When you see someone so successful on the outside, not knowing what's going on inside, you tend to
Yeah.
compare. But
Yes.
that's the worst thing that could bring you down, isn't it? Because you think, oh, the person's successful, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So
And
yeah,
even more
I
so with
get what
social
you're.
media, right? We were talking about
I'm
social
sorry.
media earlier. Even more so with social media,
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
so
Exactly.
people only put up the best bits of their life. I do that. I only put up the best
Well,
bits, and you might think, "Oh my gosh, it's such an
of
amazing
course.
life," but
Yeah.
there's also the
Yeah.
tough times, right? The not so great bits. Yeah,
Yeah. Totally.
yeah,
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Agree with that.
Yeah. Any last questions,
This is,
Zoo, for Steph?
No, this is such a great conversation. Actually, I feel this is
Yep.
truly like sitting down in a coffee shop talking. I really like it a lot.
Must
Yeah,
do that
thank you so much,
cooking
Steph. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it will be lovely. One last question. Let me think. Let me think. I've got a question that came to my mind. Nini, if you want to go ahead first, you may. Well, I'll get my thoughts sorted out because it just ran off for a bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess what I would like to ask is that because this will be, if people were to ask me this question, then I'll not be able to answer. So I tried to ask a few people the same question, so the answer will always be different. So since you are the young, modern, urban mummy, right? that what would be your advice, or what would be, the tip from all those experience that you had, if a woman wants to get into the corporate world, and with all the, because Malaysia, we are still so far behind in terms of um, gender equality or all that, right? Because I do feel that, because it's, we need to play a role as a woman, and if we are stronger at that, and we are stronger at our on our stand, pushing that forward, I think it'll be better. So what would be your piece of tip for this woman getting into this ambitious woman, so women who are ambitious, if they want to go far in the corporate world, and knowing women, when the biological clock is ticking, I want to get married, I want to have children, but I am still ambitious at the same time, I'm juggling so many things. Based on your tip, what has been your mantra getting to where you are right now?
Good question. I think I would say to that woman, go for it, do it. But along the way, find your tribe. So find that tribe, that group of women who will be with you, who will support you, who are going to share, who you can talk to, who can share with. And along my journey, I found different tribes, and they've always been critical. When you're down, when you just need that extra bit of motivation, when you just need someone to listen to, you need that tribe. They'll be there for you. And when you have a tribe, also, I think your voice is louder at the workplace. If you're the only woman, it can be hard. But when you know that you've got a few women with you, you can make that voice louder, so that people will stand up and listen. And perhaps that change that you're trying to make will eventually come true.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm going to ask you, the question that slipped off, is related to what Nini just asked you. So how do you switch from a negative mindset to a positive one? Are there any ways? Are there anything special that you do to switch off the mindset, negative mindset?
Yeah, good question. One, I think exercise helps me. We talked about it earlier, but really,
Yeah.
when I'm feeling bad, yeah, the exercise, that endorphins just really helps sometimes to just, it's a physical thing, right? It helps. But also just reminding yourself again, look, it will get better. We talked about this, right? It will get better. There is something out there in the horizon. I may be going through this right now, but I've been through tougher times before, and I've come through it. We humans, we're very resilient, I think, and we always come out of tough times stronger and wiser. So I think that helps to then remind you, maybe this will get better eventually, and keep that in mind. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
So, so it has been an awesome conversation, Stephanie.
Definitely.
Thanks,
It is.
Ida.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so thanks so much. So this is our final episode. I'm glad that we have you as the guest for our final episode. So yeah, it has been
What an
a
honor.
Definitely.
pleasure to have you.
Yeah. Thank you for saying yes to this, Steph.
Thanks for
Before
inviting
you
me.
Yeah, before you go, would you want to say anything else to the audience?
I actually have this quote I like to share. So it's by Tina Fey. She's a very famous American comedian.
Mhm.
And she has this to say about working moms. She says, you go through big chunks of time where you're just thinking, this is impossible. Oh, this is impossible. And then you just keep going and keep going, and you sort of do the impossible. So I just want to remind working moms out there. We always think like, oh, this is so hard, but guess what? We managed to do it. So give yourself a pat on the back for it.
Ah,
Yes,
that's
love
so
that a lot.
nice.
Right? Yeah. A big pat to all of us. We've done great.
Right. So we hope that we will be seeing you soon. So we have been chatting with the other 14 ladies. We thought that it'll be a great time for us to maybe when MCO is lifted or virtually or offline. Of course, having coffee in person will be better, right? So
Will be
we'll probably
way
catch
better. Yeah.
yeah, so we'll probably get the women together and we could catch up and just have like a I don't know, just have like a catch up session with each other, right? And I
Yeah, like a
guess that
chat
there will be
session. There's
so
so much.
much to learn from each other too. So
Totally. Definitely. I'm
thank
looking forward
you,
to that chat.
thank you again, Stephanie. So sorry that sorry for the technical glitch just now,
No worries.
um, and we'll be seeing you again soon. Stay safe
See you
at
soon.
home.
Take
Take care.
care.
Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
Take
weekend.
care.
You too.
Bye,
Bye.
Steph.
Bye. Bye. That was a lovely session, right?
That was lovely. Yes, that was amazing. So much fun. Oh my God, all
Yeah.
these 15 sessions, 15 episodes, it's been amazing. And I'm a little sad that it's going to end. This series at least is going to end.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it has I think it has been quite a journey, right?
yeah,
So
yeah, it has.
um yeah, so thanks also to Marketing in Asia, for being part of the Her Rise story journey. So I remember starting even before MCO, 12th of March, that was when we started, and I do feel that it has gone a long way. I feel, macam the first
15
session tu
months.
I rasa macam so lama already lah. Oh my gosh.
Because you've been through so many guests now, right? Marketing in Asia's guests are already 15. And before that, how many did you have?
I have over 70.
There you
70
go. 70.
shows.
Oh my God. How do you do that, babe? Over
Over 70,
70. That's amazing. Yeah, amazing.
right?
So, of course, it feels like a long time ago that you first started.
Yeah. So,
Hmm,
I guess it's all about the learning, right? I guess through
definitely.
this pandemic situation, um, her rise story have been my like my drug, like that, like a positive drug
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
and it has kept me being in momentum. And if
Hmm.
you realize, right, momentum is MOM first. It's not
MOM. Yes, that's
that,
amazing. There you
right?
go. Yeah.
Yeah. And that has been really, really important for me. And
Hmm.
I attended so many webinars, crisis webinars, classes, coaching sessions. And I guess the learning that I got out of it is that so I know this, whatever that focus on would actually expand, right? So I have
Definitely.
been, I'm a people person. I just need to meet and speak to people. I love having conversation, and learning from each conversation. And for me, just being in momentum has been really, really awesome for me on a personal
Hmm.
note. And I think you know this, Ministry of Marketing Asia is a super new brand, right? So yes, the holding
Yeah.
company
Yeah.
has been since 2008, But this is like a new venture. So as I get into year 2020, I thought that this will be my year, right? So I could just have said
Mm.
that, "Okay lah, tak payahlah, tak payahlah buat. I'll just relax at home,
Correct.
kan?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But I
Yeah.
think being in momentum has contributed a lot as well for the
Mm.
branding of the company, right? So I
Exactly.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, so it is so difficult for me to curate content, to write content, but I know that I suka cakap, kan? And I like to
Mm.
meet people. So why not I turn that into content? And it has scored me the 100 to be the 100 list.
Exactly. So when we first discussed, when we first met, you said that, oh, you've just been on LinkedIn for 2, 3 months, and then you got selected for the 100 in the list. So offline, I
Mhm.
was telling my colleague, I was saying, seriously, she's been only like there for like 2 months. That's amazing, the kind of job, the kind of work she has done. So I was really impressed actually. So I was
Oh
talking
yeah.
about you offline with my colleagues. So yeah, that's job well done. I mean, 2 months to put up that kind of content and to catch the attention of Aslin and Georgia. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I guess
Aslin and
that's the
Georgia are the people
learning.
who put the list together.
Okay. So yeah, thank
Mm.
you very much for that, right? So it just gave
Mm.
me an indication that what I was doing was working. So I guess it's about what you sow, you would reap, and how much you sow, that is
Yeah,
how much you'll reap, right? So it doesn't matter what's the
exactly.
timeline and all that. And I've
Mm.
my team knows this about me, that I will keep on going, and my team would bug me to rest, just take a
Mm.
break, So for me, I'll just not touch out them, but just do my stuff lah. And then they would message me, "Oi,
Mm.
tidur," because they see me still online doing something, right?
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah.
yeah, so I guess
Mm.
during this time of crisis, um, what um, what her right story have shown me, that if you are in momentum and you're focusing on contributing, right? Um, a strategic contribution lah. Somehow we are
Mm.
giving like valuable content to people in the digital platform, right?
Mm.
And the audience in the digital platform, and also build branding for the company.
Mm.
So it
For the
can
company,
be
yeah.
done. It can be done in what, 2 months, right? It can be
Yeah,
done.
exactly. Yeah, even
Mhm.
even in seclusion, even when you're secluded at home, it can be done. It's whether or not you want or not. And I've always believed this as well. A brand needs to evolve. You cannot just stay stagnant for the longest time. You need to evolve. You need to go on. You need to show new things, show new content. So I guess that's what you're doing. That's what Marketing in Asia is doing as well.
Yeah, so really awesome. And look
Mm.
out for collaboration, because this is the time
Yeah,
where collaboration is most needed. And the openness to have
yeah,
that happen is really crucial.
exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Can you? I'm so sorry. Can you hear some noise going on at my back?
Yeah, a
Can you
little
hear
bit,
some
but it's
noise going
okay.
on?
It's
Yeah.
the
I've got
reality
six
of
boys.
MCO
Uh,
working from home.
Exactly. Exactly. I've got 6 boys in my house, and we've got sleepover right after the MCO. So these boys haven't seen each other for the longest time. I've got 6 boys watching Jumanji. So that's why the noise.
Okay, it's fine. So talking about collaboration, right, Zoo?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we have plans to do this for other countries as
You.
well, right? And
That's right. We do. Mm.
you can now, not now, probably next week, right? That you will be
Mm.
able to see the recording videos. We will be doing editing to some of the shows, and it will be in marketing in Asia,
Yeah. It will be
right?
there
Uh-huh.
with the series. Yeah. What happened throughout the series? 15 guests so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. So that I'm
Mm.
really thankful for that. Thank you for offering that to us, Zoo. And I think this collaboration will hasn't just ended yet, right? And we
Yeah.
have
No, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to what we have coming.
yeah. So
soon.
just
Tell
a
them.
little clue for you. Next month is Father's Day, right? So
Father's
we
Day, yeah.
yeah, we have something exciting. You want to give more clues? Zu?
We are going to, it's from the list as well, from the Malaysia list. We're going to select some fathers and feature them on this platform because we believe um, certain times you give accolade to mothers, certain time you give accolades to fathers. So this time is going to be with Father's Turn coming in June.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
yeah. And
you say?
also, I just want to tell the viewers out there because this platform that Nini has been using, Be Live or Believe, I call it Believe. So we have been contacted by them, and they want to do a collaboration with us as well, which is amazing. So we're looking forward to that. So stay tuned, and we'll tell you more, I guess, in the coming weeks.
Yay.
Yeah, we have
Yay.
caught their
So
eyes. So
thanks.
that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah, so thanks so much. And also, if you, so we have not made any final decision. So we have roughly what we want to do for Father's Day. Still keeping the name Her Right Story, but we would like to appreciate fathers. And I guess to have a woman be empowered, people around her needs to be empowered too, right? And the two most important people in a woman's empowerment journey is their husband or their father. So yeah, we would like
Yes.
to acknowledge that and appreciate that as well. And anything else that you would like to say or update from marketing in Asia, Zu?
Yeah, just keep on reading Marketing in Asia. As I always say, there's always new contents. Every single day we put out new contents, good contents, interviews, press releases, articles from people from all over Asia. As I mentioned earlier, we have a writer from Iran. We have news from Bangladesh these days. So just keep a look at things, places that we rarely hear news from. The inside stories we'll be featuring, or we have already featured on Marketing in Asia. So just keep a lookout. And there are more things coming up. All this will be updated on the magazine itself.
Awesome.
So just follow us every day.
So yeah, so I am excited. I'm really excited. I'm also really happy and grateful that for this collaboration. And I guess to end tonight, I would like to, on behalf of Her Right Story team, I would like to say thank you to all the 15 ladies, right? So I'll just take the time to say your name one by one. So there is Hani Razif Bolanda. Is that how I pronounce it? So I'm sorry if I don't get your name right. So there's Cheryl Witanichi. Did I get it right, Zu?
Yeah, I think you do.
Do you have
Yeah.
the list with
So I think
you?
no, I don't. But I think she goes by the name Cheryl Wita.
Cheryl Wita, yeah.
Yeah.
So also thank you, Jamuna, Sumati Krishnan, Suraya, Dr. Sangeeta, who I feel that, next to you in the screen, I look like a monkey jumping around and it's just so calm, right? And my all-time buddy, Shadaitul Intan, Nasuha Browning, Emilia Zainol, Alpasha, Ranuka Singham, Frida Liu, Nurul Izzati, and tonight, Stephanie Caunter. So,
Yeah. I'm
and
going to say,
also, sorry?
go ahead. Go ahead first. Go ahead first.
And also, I want to thank my co-host. Thank you so much, Zu, for being there, So
Oh,
it
thank you for
has been
having me.
really awesome.
It's been really, really fun and really, really such a great learning curve. I mean, so much things that I learned. And, every day after we interview people, every day I will be reflecting on the conversations. And I like that a lot because you learn a lot from talking to people. And this is one of the things that we do now. And I really love it. And I just want to say this because you were mentioning the guest earlier. I wasn't here when you were in Dr. Sangeeta and Emilia. I just want to give a shout out to these ladies, amazing ladies. I've been doing some spying on them as well. I know they're amazing, but it's regretful that I couldn't be here those 2 days. So, but thank you to them too for being here. Yeah.
Yeah, very awesome. And I would also like to say thank you to the Ministry of Marketing Asia team, especially Misha. And I think you've not met Nathaniel. So, he is the person, they are the person who is behind the scene. So, especially Misha, handling the guests, very good feedback, very good
She's,
testimonials from the guests. Oh
she's
my gosh, right?
amazing.
So,
You can
right?
message the team, and she'll be replying at midnight. I'm like, doesn't this person sleep? She'll be replying. So I'm really grateful for her help. She's always there.
Yeah, so I think it's bye bye from us for now. It's
Yes,
11
yes,
o'clock. We
yes.
have
Maybe
gone crazy over time. Yeah.
I just want to thank you to you too. This has been a definite pleasure, and I'm looking forward
My,
to work with you again very soon.
yes,
Terima kasih.
yes. Thank you so much. Terima kasih. And I'll be seeing you soon. Zu Angelica. Yeah, so I love that
And you,
name.
Nini.
All right. So stay tuned,
Yeah,
everyone. Stay
yeah,
tuned. We will
yeah.
also be doing some videos, recap videos, and all that on behalf of Her Rise Story.
Mm,
Thank you and good
yes.
night.
Thank
Stay safe,
you.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains.